I got the idea for the movie after watching a film on Netflix. It was a series of horror movies, real short flicks put together to make one big movie. And I kind of wanted to offer me and my friends a chance to do the same. So I came up with Through the Eyes of Horror. I would limit what you had to do technically. So I came up with these filters, such as filming an entire horror movie on a cell phone. All audio, all video, everything has to be recorded on a cell phone except for the background music. I also came up with a couple other ideas, such as doing a movie in one take, doing a silent movie. And the first one's going to be called Through the Eyes of Horror Dead Zone, because whenever you lose signal in a certain area, every time you go through that area on a cell phone, it's called a dead zone. It's going to be 5 to 7 minute long films, and I really hope you guys enjoy them.
Originally, I was going to go very, very dark. I had a lot of ideas, but the more I wrote, the more it just didn't work. Finally, I was thinking about who was going to be acting in the film, and my friend Spencer, who's in the movie, the more I thought about it, the character he portrays just came to life. I knew he could pull it off. I don't want to say too much to spoil it, but basically the script that I ended up with was the result of thinking about who was going to actually be in the film.
I got the idea for my movie from wanting to do something kind of funny at first and then get dark, or go dark and then get funny. But I ended up with something that had just a few light moments of humor and then mostly darkness. I also wanted to involve some sort of ritual sacrifice. I wanted to have blood. I wanted something to be a little unnerving too. So I kind of wanted to involve children. But getting people to give up their children for a horror movie is kind of a hard thing to do. So we ended up using my own son, which is great because it's like a family movie. I've got my wife, I've got me, I've got my son. And so yeah, that's how I came up with the idea for my movie.
The cell phone limitations definitely influenced how the film was shot. Basically, I did a lot of close-ups because I needed the mic on the cell phone to pick up the audio. Everything was designed around having just one or two people in frame at a time. So basically, I wrote it so that I wouldn't have any really big shots. Because I was worried about the audio, basically.
The whole cell phone thing proposed quite a challenge. I had a lot of difficulty getting the shots that I wanted to get. My movie was way bigger than what it should have been. I even tried to use multiple cell phones to where I could use one for recording audio on a selfie stick, like a boom mic, and then the other cell phone for video. It was very challenging. It was a good learning experience. And definitely, if I ever do another one of these movies all on a cell phone, I'm going to think a lot smaller.
The biggest challenge to this film, besides the cell phone limitation, was definitely trying to tell a story in a very confined amount of time, in 5 to 7 minutes, and have it be something that was memorable. That was probably why I went through so many changes to the story initially, because the more I looked at the script, the more I realized it just didn't quite do what I wanted it to do. So that's why I embraced more of a comical side, which you'll see when you see the film. So yeah, that was probably the hardest part, actually.
The challenges to creating a movie in such a short time is engaging your audience. You gotta try to do enough to tell the backstory to bring the audience to the point that you're telling in the movie, and at the same time present something that's not all backstory. So you gotta get from where you guys were to where you're at in a very unique fashion. And that to me was the hardest part, was being able to create atmosphere and create everything that's required for a horror movie, while at the same time getting the story right to engage my audience and not just give them just blood and gore or some sort of gotcha scary moment. I wanted to try to set a mood. Hey everyone, I hope you enjoyed the interviews with myself and Brian. Look for the trailer next week, and the whole movie will be released on October 26th on YouTube, right here on the Malcontent Productions page. hit like, hit subscribe, and we hope to see you then.